CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with my co-host, Mike Molyneux, and Marv Zahn. And this week, guys, we are talking N'Keal Harry, our favorite topic to go over. So some rumors started popping up today. Reportedly, there are teams checking in with the Patriots about trading for N'Keal Harry, which, listen, I'm sure he's a great guy. Take him. Take him, get him off our hands. I think it's clear whether he's still got the talent to be a very good receiver in this league. I don't think it's happening here at this point. Maybe he needs a change of scenery. I hope if he goes somewhere else, I hope he has an amazing career. I hope he really turns into that solid receiver that we thought was coming. But I don't know if it's going to happen here. I don't think it's happening here. So, Marv, let's start with you on this one. Would you be okay with the Patriots trading N'Keal Harry? Or do you think he should still be the Patriots project?
N'Keal Harry, Jacoby Myers, Sony Michel. It don't matter. All of these, there's nobody safe as an offensive weapon. If they want to go ahead and take N'Keal Harry, what are we getting back? Compensatory pick, third round, fourth round? Sure, whatever you need to do. I don't see anyone on this offense that is a must keep. And that's really sad. I feel like every team in the NFL got their one player that they must keep. I don't see any offensive weapons. I mean, take away the offensive line. I don't see any offensive weapons that you look at and you say, okay, this guy must stay here.
Like, maybe Harris, bro.
Harris is kind of close.
Harris is great. Harris is great. I like Harris. Is he must keep?
That's a different story.
That's a different story. He's not a must keep running back. You're gonna find another running back on this team that's gonna be serviceable. We saw that young running back JJ that I forget his last name.
Taylor,
who played a little bit and then just disappeared once James White came through. But Patriots are gonna be all right with running backs. But when it comes to N'Keal Harry, third year in, he still has that first round receiver tag on him. The first year, people are going to, give him excuses that he was injured and it wasn't all right. The second year, teams might look at it and say, well, maybe Cam wasn't just a great quarterback for him and he still has potential. And they're going to talk themselves into maybe thinking that they can rebuild N'Keal Harry. If you are one of those teams, by all means, go ahead. Try it out. I wish N'Keal Harry the best. We tried with him for 2 years. He hasn't been able to stay healthy, and he hasn't really shown us those flashes where you see, okay, this guy could be a consistent number 2 wide receiver. You guys remember last year when we did the show around this time? We're thinking N'Keal Harry's could possibly be the number 1 next to Julian Edelman.
All through training camp.
And it didn't work out to the point where he was really the number 3 wide receiver behind Myers and Bird. So nothing against N'Keal Harry, but when I look at this offensive weapons with the Patriots, I think they all can go at the moment right now. And you just this is rebuild. This is what you call a rebuild. You made a mistake with N'Keal Harry. You have to accept it. That's part of accepting your pride, Bill Belichick. You messed up. You messed up with N'Keal Harry. Let it go now. And let's revamp and let's try it again.
N'Keal Harry is somebody that I wanted to work out. I wanted him to be. I wanted the season to start last year. I wanted him and Cam Newton together to be this badass duo. And we heard all through training camp. N'Keal Harry's looking good. N'Keal Harry looks like Doughboy, which I mean I don't understand. Is there a meaning behind that nickname?
He's just a big dude.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted him to be my number 1 receiver. I don't love that. All through training camp, all we heard was that he was going to be this. He was looking great. He was going to be a number 1. And then the season happened, and it was just much like the entire season, just wildly underwhelming.
And another thing, sorry to interrupt, but you remember he did kind of start off all right. You remember that second game against Seattle?
There was excitement.
He was balling, and then he fumbled. He fumbled at the end zone, and then his confidence crashed. His confidence crashed from there, and he's never recovered from that moment. So that's another thing that makes me worry about N'Keal Harry. Where's he at mentally in the game?
2 years, 45 catches, 414 yards. Mike, would you move on from N'Keal Harry, or should the Patriots keep him as a project?
The Patriots, and I think a part of me hasn't given up on N'Keal Harry. And I don't see a situation where the Patriots move on from him because I feel like
you don't see any situation.
I mean, depending on what a team is willing to give you, well, obviously you gotta analyze that for sure.
Do you think it's gonna take much?
Probably not. But hear me out. Belichick and the Patriots know this N'Keal Harry situation hasn't worked out how they planned. But they don't want to throw in the towel yet because Marv laid it out. First year, he was injured. Brady doesn't really trust the young guys. Okay, bam. Second year, Cam Newton wasn't really throwing the ball well. The offense was just a mess. Bam, that's year 2. You can easily look at those 2 seasons. Is it really N'Keal Harry's fault why he hasn't really taken off the way they probably assumed when they drafted him? Some might not put that on N'Keal Harry. Some might just put that on the 2 factors of his first 2 years. I do believe, and also believe, knowing the Patriots, if they give up and trade N'Keal Harry, it's gonna further the thought that they don't know what the hell they're doing with rookie wide receivers. Whoever's their wide receiver.
Oh no, that's already locked in.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But whoever's their wide receiver coach, whoever helps with the draft day analysis and the scouting, like, all their jobs need to be on the line. They need to lose their job, whatever. It's just going to further that thought. And what you just said, Nick, it's locked in. It's just going to further that even more. And it's a bad look because it's been throughout years now that the Patriots have gone after wide receivers, whether it's the right one, the wrong one, they missed out, whatever, and it just hasn't panned out. The list goes on. When you have these top networks during the game show you the list of wide receivers that the Patriots have drafted, it's just bad. As a Patriots fan, you look at that list, like, oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
It's terrible when they show that graphic of the list of guys that have come through the Patriots at wide receiver that they drafted. So I don't believe they want to throw in the towel on N'Keal Harry because they maybe want to save from a little extra, more embarrassment, but they also believe, like, with another training camp and a good set offense and a solid quarterback, or they believe they could possibly get something out of N'Keal Harry. Do they expect him to be the number 1 guy? I don't know. I mean, we just went through a list of wide receivers in a previous episode that could possibly come here and easily take over that number 1 spot. I don't know if N'Keal Harry can ever be a number 1, but I think he can add something to the table, fully healthy, with a good quarterback, with a solid offense around him. The confidence just needs to continue to rise and stay there.
Yeah, but this is year 3, and I haven't seen anything in these first 2 years that say that he's gonna get better.
Injury first year, bad quarterback the second year. Is it really, really, really his fault?
Yeah. So there's my question, because on one hand, people are blaming, or people are saying, you know what, maybe Cam wasn't that bad. He didn't have any good receivers. Then on the other hand, we're like, maybe N'Keal Harry's not that bad. Cam Newton stinks. So which is it?
It's a combination of both. I just
think they're both not very good anymore.
Yeah, it's quite simple. They both stink.
Yeah, I just don't think they're very good. The receivers in the Patriots drafting is like, to bring it to a nerdy Red Sox perspective, it's like how Theo Epstein was with shortstops. Just not good. Just not good at it. After Theo Epstein traded Nomar away, remember how bad of a stretch that was for Red Sox shortstops before Xander?
Number of guys.
Yes.
Lugo and Cabrera and
Edgar Renteria.
I thought Jose Iglesias was the next guy, but sorry.
Right, Marv?
Jose.
All right. CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable, Nick Quaglia, Marv Zahn, and Mike Molyneux. Guys, we will be back for another set of the show next week. We will talk to you then. Hopefully there's some huge news, maybe around the Patriots quarterback position. Again, Nick Quaglia, Marv Zahn, and Mike Molyneux. Guys, we will talk to you next week. Thanks for watching. and thank you for listening.